my fellow readers, is I Dark Symphony 777 with another pair of fan fiction reviews. As always, a link to the stories will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, leave a comment in the comments below on your thoughts on the story. If I listen to my opinions are indicative of the world, so please respect that. So, I'm doing two stories today. The first one is Left Behind, Sunny Disposition by the Psychopath. This is another My Little Pony fan fiction. I honestly completely forgot I had this story in the massive backlog I still have. And I thought, well, I finished the Luniverse. I might as well just get this out of the way and just kind of never have to deal with ponies again until, I don't know, Trixie shows up in yoga pants or something. I don't know. This is also a sequel to Left Behind. Now, if you actually remember, I did a review of this story last year. I actually kind of liked it because of how different it is, especially with Nightmare Moon's character. And this is basically a continuation of that. So, what is the plot about? Well, it's kind of a mess. A mess in a good way. This story takes place 8 months after the first Left Behind. And so Nightmare Moon is finally getting all her gears ready to get building up her castle and say, I can now rule Equestria and unite all the clans. We must unite. Where do we go first? However, Nightmare Moon's also still dealing with the king and queen of what Equestria currently is. Did I just hear the door open? Nah. I heard something. It must have been a bunny. So Nightmare Moon is rebuilding her castle. The king and queen are kind of having to deal with her, sending assassins. They're not working. And most of the world still doesn't believe that Nightmare Moon is still real. It's a more shorter story. This is 58. This was, this was twice the story. And it's hard to describe this plot. At its core, it's hard to describe because there's a lot of stuff happening and not enough time to tell it in the story. You have in fact another shard of Princess Celestia coming to Earth. This time this shard is completely covered in molten lava, and she's constantly bleeding out lava. No, she's made of molten stone and she's bleeding out lava. But this shard of Celestia is more cognizant and actually is able to hold a conversation. And Nightmare Moon has to deal with the Thestrals. Nightmare Moon has to deal with the King and Queen, the Griffin Prince. And also, or this new magic, finding out that Celestia made this entirely new magical field. Nightmare Moon's completely out of her depth with. I have no idea how this works. I can take a guess, but nothing concrete. Meanwhile, I think the remnant from the first story, the thing that became that was an Alicorn, is somehow still alive and is occupying other bodies and trying to deal with Nightmare Moon, but it's ineffective because outside of sorry, I actually just woke up not too long ago. Outside of an automaton, the bodies just fall apart and melt. It occupied a maid, and the king's just completely flabbergasted by the maid's jaw falling off and dying. Ugh. Oh. And I guess technically the story does end with the shard of Celestia reawakening this gigantic demon to bury itself into a super volcano. I think the idea is nice. Volcanoes are formed by these gigantic demons, and most of the destruction comes from when they bury themselves instead of getting out. It's they bury themselves. They have to do all the chaos, and this one was so big it just kill everyone if it actually led. So he had a so the robot kind of sacrificed itself to open a portal to a different dimension where like where it's just like nothing but volcanoes. He's like just goes in, and the shard becomes like an act like actually Celestia somehow. I guess with like molten feet, and now Nightmare Moon kind of has to take care of her and kind of get her up to speed with everything. And, to be honest, I wasn't really feeling this story as much as with Left Behind. I mean, they realized there's gonna be one. It's gonna be a trilogy. It's like, I don't really care because I like Left Behind. This one's not that bad. The problem is, it's just there's so much stuff happening, and the fact that this is like not enough story to tell it, which kind of leads the story to being like very fragmentary in scope. So you constantly having like to try and figure out what exactly is going on. It's not really that great how it's implemented, but at least you get like an idea of what's going on. And also near the end where like most of the stuff is now like coming together, it does flow a little better in terms of plot. But it's still not particularly entertaining. Uh, let's see. Characters. There's still. I can't really say much about the characters. Like with Nightmare Moon. Nightmare Moon doesn't really change that much, mainly because this is basically a continuation of her character arc from Left Behind. So there's not really much I can add that I didn't say in that review. There is the only other character that's interesting is Solar Flare, which is the official name for the shard. She's basically like fire and brimstone. Like when she comes up, there's like a there she shows up in like a Dullahan town and just casually like brings the sun like like on top of the town and just melts everything. And she's like very very angry. It's like they shall pay for sending my sister to the moon and keeping her there. And then when she finds out that like Nightmare Moon is like there, it's like, huh? She's like completely confused, and like she even like actually engaged in like casual conversation with like the good guys, showing that despite being a shard, i.e., a fragment of Celestia, she has multiple mental faculties, and she's really just enraged over like Nightmare Moon being stuck in the moon for like 10,000 years, and even when she finds out that Nightmare Moon is in front of her, she's like, what's going on? And then they get into like a big conversation. So she's like asking questions, like, so this is okay. So this is what happened. Yes. Huh. What are you gonna do now? I'm gonna kill everyone. Why? For putting you through that shit justifiably. And now Nightmare Moon and technically has to work together with like the robot to stop Celestia, because like I can't rule over everything if there's nothing left to rule. Especially since like I don't know, everyone on Earth will die except for me. It's like, what will I do? I don't know. Who will I take care of? I don't know. Do you have anything to say besides I don't know? Like, yes. What? I don't know. Burn? Burn to the ground. But I think Solar Flare's font is good is a good pseudo villain because because she doesn't really have much depth to her, mainly because she's basically a shard. Like, but as for what what the author did with the shard is not bad. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Everyone else kind of suffers from the fact that this is just a sequel and doesn't really add anything character wise. As a sequel, it's just continuing what the first story did and just kind of moving it along, so I can't really say anything other than about that. Pacing wise, I do think this story suffers from being short. Left Behind, I think, was perfectly length, around 100,000 words, and this one is just too short. Again, it is just a continuation of the first story, so you can kind of put them together to make it like around 140,000 words. It still doesn't really properly tell a lot of the story, and the pacing kind of causes that because everything just kind of feels fragmented, not coming really together. Grammar wise, I do think. I'm trying to remember. No, I don't think there's any grammar errors with the story. Uh, Overall, I know this story. Like, I know this review is short, but that's because it's most of what I would want to say about this I already said in this, so it's like. Uh, so yeah, that's Left Behind Sunny Disposition. I don't hate the story, but I do think it's not as good as the first one. Moving on to something more interesting. Love is a Jolly Holiday by Sparks Gavilan. It is a Mary Poppins and Frozen crossover. I have like the little art with like the little kids. Wow, what a weirdly like unexpected crossover. Good God. Sorry, I'm actually sweating a bubble. I have no idea what to say about the story. I was like, I'm like coming in ready to praise the shit out of the story. And now I'm actually here. I'm like, what do I even say? What do I even say? And now I got my rabbit food just staring at me with disapproval. Like, how dare you? I could say more than you. Um, God, this is actually a good story. Like, I don't know what to say besides it's really good. Let's let's actually go into the specifics. So, what is the plot about? So, this is basically a sort of alternate universe on Anna and Elsa's backstory. If you ever actually saw Frozen, Anna and Elsa were basically kids. Elsa had ice powers, and so she would actually play with Anna a lot. One day, Anna was actually falling. Elsa accidentally, in panic, hit Elsa in the head with the snow beam, causing like a white streak to kind of go in her hair. Let's see if the picture. No, it's not in this picture. But just imagine Anna has like a white streak in her hair. Uh, Her and her parents completely freaked out because Anna's like completely knocked unconscious. They take them to the trolls where they wipe Anna's memory of the incident happening, and the parents and Elsa all lock basically have Elsa hidden. Elsa's completely approval of this because she's so afraid of hurting Anna again that she's willingly letting herself be locked off. And the father, Agnar, is basically like telling him like don't conceal, don't feel, and lock everything inside of you, as like in fear of possibly like having Elsa hurt Anna because he's basically like wanting to be a loving father, but he's kind of stuck in a situation where the only way he thinks he can probably handle this is by locking Elsa away and keeping Anna from interacting with Elsa, so that way they can both be protected. It's kind of depressing, but I think it is the purpose. But anyway, going back to the story, Mary Poppins shows up in Ariandel. Basically, she senses, there's a broken family somewhere that she wants to fix, and so she travels. Well, in actuality, it actually starts with a swan leaf being picked up by Aduna, giving it to and flying off, and then Mary Poppins grabbing it. It's like, I'm here to deliver something. It's like, in the bag. You want to look at it? Also, no slouching. Also, I'm not slouching. Oh yes, we want to look in the bag. All right, here you go. It's empty. Yeah. Something wrong? Um, are you sure this bag is not? No, no, no. It's something else. It's on the app. Oh, okay. Let her in. Open the gates. Mary Poppins meets with the king and queen. Iduna completely like takes one look at Mary and it's like, I sense something from her, something that could give us something we've lost. Agnar still kind of having his mind on things, doesn't really realize what's going on. Decides, okay, Mary Poppins can babysit Anna, and so that's how the story kind of goes on with Mary, kind of going between Anna and Elsa, kind of interacting with them, and kind of helping them along and trying to reunite the family. I think it's a very sweet story in how we get to see like how Mary interacts with like someone in like this very specific situation. Because you think because Mary Poppins is a very magical woman, but she's also very hands off of a lot of situations. Like that's kind of the big difference between her and Nanny McPhee. Nanny McPhee's like known for being more hands on with everything, being that they're both stereotypes of like different types of nannies. Poppins is like the very kindly nanny who too honestly wants to help people, while McPhee is more of the very stern, harsh nanny that like disciplines kids and stuff like that. So they both have their own goals. Don't worry, Nanny McPhee does not show in the story. I'm just kind of showing like the comparison between the two and the contrasting between the two. Uh, with Mary kind of playing along with a lot of Anna and Elsa's powers and like her kind of having to work with Elsa's very specific situation, like not like very dangerously not wanting to hurt people, and so she even like convinces Elsa like you have a sister. It's like yeah, come on, I don't want to hurt her. It's like okay, what will your puffin friend say? Well, I completely forgot the name of the puffin. I forgot the name of the puffin. Where the yeah. Sir Jorgenborg. It is so stupid. Sir Jorgenborgen. And and of course, Mary Poppins like playing along with them, like in when she's with Anna the first chapter. Anna's like talking with a bunch of paintings, and Mary Poppins, of course, plays along. It's like, yes, Miss Jonah Ark. Okay, you want to go talk to her? It's like, how? It's like, close your eyes, believe. They go into the painting. Anna's like in a suit of armor, and Jonah Ark just casually strolls up on a horse, like, "Hello, Anna," and of course, Anna just her response is just to just almost pass out, and Mary Poppins kind of like keeping her from passing out because of course that's like the perfect reaction to seeing a painting come to life and say hi. But this, but Agnar and Iduna catch one of this. Iduna's completely approval because she's kind of despairing, like that's kind of the thing that both king and queen are just purposely pouring themselves into like ruling the kingdom and ignoring and also like strictly out of fear of like not wanting to hurt either daughter, but at the same time not realizing that what they're doing is hurting them just in a different way. And Mary is just kind of helping them kind of bridge together and become a happy family. And it's a very sweet plot, especially since we see something that's very atypical of Mary Poppins near the end, where uh, Iduna basically asks Mary, "It's like, oh, we want to get flowers for this delegation. Can you go? Can you go with Anna to get flowers? And you can bring anyone else you want along." It's like, okay, Anna, yes, let's get your sister. But you said nope, nope, nope. The queen said I can bring anyone I want, and who I want to bring is Elsa. to help you two along. They go to the flower store. They meet. What was her name? She's actually in this story. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? I completely. Yes, chapter 2. Lupe. Lupe, the Spanish lady who owns a flower shop. Agnar goes to bring something to El. No, they're in the delegation. They interrupt her by one of their butlers named Kai. Kai reveals Elsa's door is open. The king. Well, I don't. Yeah, it was open. They completely freak out. Dave's like, it has to be the nanny. They go to the flower store. They confront Nanny, Mary Poppins, and Duna understands where she's coming from because she's technically because she had to realize I didn't say anyone. She played me. Meanwhile, Agnar is completely panicking because Elsa is out the room, so therefore Elsa could potentially hurt someone. And of course, Nanny and Nanny, Mary is kind of encouraging her. It's like use the power to like make a cloud, like make a snow cloud, to cool off flowers. Like it's a very sweet thing, and you see the despair in Agnar, and like he really doesn't want to hurt Elsa, but he's so panicked by the possibility that not only could she hurt someone, but other people could hurt Elsa in response. That he's panicking, trying to make her put on the gloves. Elsa starts misbehaving, saying, "No, I don't want to do that." Hits Agnar in the heart with the ice beam, and he starts freezing solid. Mary, realizing the situation, has to get involved, has to get hands on, like something that's clearly out of her element because she's clearly, again, Mary's whole thing is she's trying to stay hands off, like just kind of nudge and kind of nudge him in the right direction, but they figured out, I don't know. See, picturing Mary Poppins have to get physically involved, and all she really does is like get like pilot the carriage to get the king and queen to the to the gnomes, so that way they can use their magic on the king. It's still like a really jarring thing it also shows like the extreme situation that Mary kind of is involved in. The fact that she has to do something like this is really telling. It's a really good story beat, and also Queen and Duna and the king having like a little heart to heart, kind of airing out their frustrations. Like the king even calls out like Mary's like, I don't know what you, and then he turns right back around to point at her, and she's like already gone. It's like, yeah, I know what you want. But I'll leave you to it. I'll leave you to your little therapy session. And of course, Mary shows up at the end where Elsa has puts a snowstorm in Ariandel, and there's even like a sweet little moment where like everyone's like freaking out, like wonder where the storm is coming from. It's like, and Lupe's like, I know what we must do. I bet. Turns to Elsa and Anna. I bet you I can. I bet you. I can summon more snow than you. Ha! And she starts shoveling the snow. And, like everyone's just looking at her funny. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm shoveling snow. So are they. And like the blacksmith's like, but this snow's unnatural. It's like, hey, I take advantage of that. It's like, exactly. It's like, those two girls are shoveling better than you. Let's show them. It's like, wait, what? And they get along, and all the whole town just completely cleans up the shovel. The Duke of Weaselton is there trying to do like trade negotiations with Arundel. He's kind of a douchebag. And it's like, no, we shan't do it. We're not gonna work with you anymore. Even like a funny moment, like, hi, get an ink in a scroll. Ready, sir. Arundel shall not engage in any trade negotiations with Weaselton anymore. Thank you. Signed? Signed. Thank you. And it's just I don't really know what else to say about the story? It's not a deep story. It's basically just Mary Poppins doing what Mary Poppins does best, like helping people and seeing a broken family through these extraordinary circumstances and trying to bring them together. It's a very sweet, wholesome tale, and it really does feel like an actual Mary Poppins story. And I think that's probably the one of my favorite probably my favorite part of the story is the fact it feels like a Mary Poppins story. It feels like something Mary herself would do. Minus driving the coach because again that'd be more of a Nanny McPhee sort of thing. But again, it kind of shows that Mary's like in this sort of situation and it kind of shows like how much she wants to help this family that she's willing to get involved, which is something she wouldn't do. It's and even the story kind of ends like very sweet with like Mary Poppins going off on another adventure, implied that she's heading to Corona to kind of deal with Rapunzel because the king and queen of Corona are there, kind of, and both royal families are kind of talk to each other. It's like we miss Rapunzel, which we don't know what happened to her. So of course, Mary Poppins are probably going to go to Corona and see what's going on. I'm actually curious. Does no? Oh come on! Ah, why no? Why no Corona? Why no Mary Poppins Corona? I would like to say that. Um, and also the family kind of going out to the beach and kind of just playing and talking. It's like you're doing it like they're just splashing and playing. It's like a very very happy family. I think story wise, this is perfect. Like this is as perfect as you can to getting that authentic Mary Poppins little adventure. I think it's really amazing. Character wise, with Mary, it's very authentically Mary Poppins. Like that's the thing. That's another difference between Nanny McPhee and Mary Poppins. Due to how Mary Poppins works, Mary doesn't really have much of a character arc because Mary Poppins is the type of character that's supposed to help other characters grow over time. She's basically just like, oh, you're doing this, huh? Um, and trying like roundabout ways to try and get them in that direction. So, but Mary herself doesn't grow as a character. Nanny McPhee's whole thing is that she grows with the characters kind of show to kind of better showcase their growth. So again, it's a role differentiation. Mary is completely perfect because she's authentically Mary Poppins in the story. She's very sly with like wordplay and taking and trying to twist everything to kind of get the result that she wants. But at the end of the day, she wants Elsa and Anna and the King and Queen to kind of come to those decisions themselves without any direct impact to her. Again, another thing differentiating her from McPhee. So that way, once she realizes that they're finally a happy family, she wishes them a good day, and she flies away on her little umbrella. And of course, we also got the umbrella talking because of course, her umbrella talks. Um, but Mary Poppins having like character development of character arc that's not existent in the story because that's despite her being the main character, that's not Mary Poppins' shtick. That's not who Mary Poppins is. Mary Poppins is there to help Elsa and Anna and Agnar and Aduna kind of grow and get and help them through their own character arcs and their own character development over the course of the story. In that role, Mary Poppins is perfect. Now with the family, I really love the family. Elsa and Anna are very much kids, each with their own set of problems. Like Anna's very depressed because she has no one to play with because she's a princess, and she can't really see Anna for reasons she doesn't know. Again, her memory was wiped out. Uh, Anna basically is just very depressed, and she talks to paintings. And Mary Poppins comes along and helps her out, and kind of gains the encouragement to try even harder to kind of not only get to be with Anna, but also convince her mother and father to kind of spend more time with them, get out of work, get out of putting themselves so hard in the roles of king and queen, so that way they can be a happy family. Also, of course, being like a very atypical character is like not wanting to hurt people, understandably because she hurt her sister and nearly killed her. So it's very understandable why Elsa is a much harder egg to crack for Mary than Anna, who's just really suffering from depression. Because Elsa genuinely doesn't want to hurt anyone. Like she wants to be with these people, but she's so afraid of hurting them with her powers that she's kind of closing herself off. And so seeing Mary kind of taking her to like a little puffin colony and saying, "Yeah, they're puffin." It's like, yeah, it's like what they say. What they say, Mary? Oh, they said, blah, 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 blah. What does that mean? They said, "Do you want to fly with us?" Yes. And see, Anna, not Anna, Elsa open up and embrace her powers as a kid. Like in Lupe's flower shop, like Lupe like bemoans the fact that like she left her flowers on Susan, and like Mary just kind of nudges. And Elsa's like, "Well, we try something." It's like, and Elsa just summons like a little puffy snow cloud over the flowers, and like they kind of wake back up. Such is the magic of Mary Poppins. I think Elsa and Anna characters are really well done. Again, it really embraces the archetypes that Mary Poppins are helping. Iduna and Agnar are also very well done in the fact that they're kind of a broken set of parents, and the fact that they genuinely are only putting themselves full force into their role as king and queen because they really don't know what to do, because like our daughter has powers. What the fuck are we supposed to do? And so they're kind of just using their leadership and titles as like a way to try and cope with it all. And as the story goes along, the king queen kind of start to go on at heads over Mary, kind of what the king believes is like interfering in the relationship. But Iduna kind of sees what's going on. She's trying to help everyone, and it's all very believable because even Agnar is like doing this for legitimately good reasons. Like he's worried that if anyone sees Elsa use her spell powers, they're gonna come after her. They're gonna hurt her. They're gonna kill her. And him as a father doesn't want to see that happen. So he's closing her off from everyone out of that genuinely primal fear as a parent that he doesn't want to see his daughter hurt. With Iduna, it's more that she's just suffering from depression, same as Anna, and the fact that she's a broken family, and she's kind of just trying to keep everything together as best she can, and she even realizes that she's actually failing as a parent, and she doesn't know what to do, which is why she so easily accepts Mary Poppins' help. She looks at Mary Poppins, stares her in the eye, and realizes she can help us. I hope she can help us. And seeing how all of them kind of interact with each other, and even like the minor characters, like the with Lupe and the King, they're all really well done, and done as well as you can see. Like I really love all the characters in the story. Grammar errors. There are a couple grammar errors in I think only the first chapter. The author, I believe this is just a legitimate accent. So where is it? I'm trying to find. Throughout the first, I think either this chapter or the second chapter, the author inadvertently unspaces certain words, and because certain words have are italicized, and he kind of just inadvertently unspaces the word between them and kind of makes them one word. Thing, yeah, hit right here. See, it loud and proud, and I think this is just an accident. This is only in the first chapter. It's completely gone in every other chapter afterwards. But I do think the author, but it's just a very minor grammar error. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't see any grammar errors. Pacing wise, I think the story is paced perfectly. I think a story like this, being that it's supposed to be very authentic to what Mary Poppins does, having being like 30,000. Like I got another thing that separates Mary Poppins from McPhee is that I think Nanny McPhee stories tend to be longer due to being more complex, while Mary Poppins again being more hands off person uh, tends to be more for like children's style books. So she's kind of just so the stories tend her types of stories tend to be like very shorter. And a story like this, which is very true to form to how Mary Poppins operates, uh, being so short actually plays to its favor. If it was like any length, any like even so much like a couple thousand words longer, there's a risk that it may just drag on. And so I think that's honest, keeping it as short as you can, while also getting the point across of what the story's about is perfect. I think just completely 100% kudos to Sparks Gavlin for this story. What I recommend now, would I recommend these stories? This one I technically would because I would see this as less a sequel, more like a continuation of this because it is just the same plot being followed, just following several plot threads from the story and just kind of continuing on. So I can't really call this a sequel, but I would recommend it because you have to kind of combine both these stories together to kind of see what's going on. But with Love is a Jolly Holiday, 100% would recommend. It's a great story. It's a great, heartfelt, wholesome story about this nanny just trying to help save this family from a route of like despair and depression, and just kind of being there for them. I think it's as great as it could be. What would I change? I don't really know because I don't know about this one because I don't really, it's such a hard story because it's again going with the continuation of this. Uh, I could easily just say I have to wait until the third story comes out. When it comes out, let's actually see. No, it's not. It's not out yet. Okay. Well, Love is a Jolly Holiday. Just go through the first chapter. Try and find like these little errors and just put spaces. Favorite part? I don't have a favorite part for this. I don't. I would probably say Night Anna, simply because just picturing a little kid in like a full on suit of armor, and like her just wondering like what, huh? And then just Jonah Art just walking up saying hi, and then just her Anna just going, and Jonah Art basically asking it's like, well, I was hired to slay a dragon, and so they go to find the dragon's lair. They can't get in, but there's like a little cubby that Anna can kind of just squeeze through. It's like I can fight the dragon. It's like, are you sure about that? Yes, yes. Anna, are you sure? It's like, yes, I can try. And of course, they meet the she meets the dragon, and the dragon's kind of just locked himself up as a metaphor for Elsa. It's like, well, I just want to be a friendly dragon, but every time when I breathe, I like fires, and they kind of hurt me, and they kind of hurt me. It's like I don't know what to do. It's like, well, try and be well. There's a lady out there who could talk to you if you're willing to give her a chance. It's like, really? Yeah. Like, okay. And so they kind of become friends. And so the dragon kind of talks to Joan, and Mary's like, I did my job. Um, also, before I end this review, I would I would legitimately love to see a sequel to this with Corona. And I know what you're gonna say because like Disney Rapunzel's like completely different from Elsa because Rapunzel's like kidnapped by Mother Gothel, so you can easily just go like Mary Poppins going to Corona, finding out that she's actually kidnapped. Hold 1 second. Finds a British payphone, just pull out of nowhere. Calls her friends like, yes, I need your help with this. Yep, you'll be here in about 10 minutes. All right, good. It's like, where'd that payphone come from? It's like, someone. Don't worry, I have a friend. She tends to be more rough than me, but she's perfect for the job. In comes Nanny McPhee holding a cast iron. It's like, I heard someone was kidnapped. Take me to them. I just like, come on. It's a you can't have a story this good ending on a sequel where Mary's going to Corona to help Rapunzel, because Frozen and Rapunzel, Tangled and Frozen are like confirmed to be in the same are in the same world. So it'd be like really really cool for a sequel. I really want to see a sequel. I with how good this story is, I want to see how he handles McPhee. Even if it's like Mary and McPhee having to work together because of Rapunzel's specific circumstances, I would love to see it. So this has been Left Behind and Love is a Jolly Holiday. I will see you next time. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and